Okay. I just let everyone know. Started the live stream. I'm going to set this down. Hopefully, people come back in just a second. We're getting ready here. All right. And we got no one on board just yet. Wait till we get our people showing up. TH and everyone else. See who's out there in the live chat. Oh, hey. We just got TH, I think, on board here. TH, is that you? How's everyone doing today? Nice afternoon here. About to go to the studio and start our live stream here. So we got one person watching. If you want, identify yourself out there in the chat. We got the Q and A live stream going on right now. I believe there were 2 questions so far coming in from TH. I'm going to get to those. And then somehow I might try to jump on Twitter, see if I got some questions there. And then also my personal email, which I do get hundreds of emails a day from my other guy. I get hundreds of emails a day for my work in television and television production and staging events for news and things like that. So that's always fun. And a couple of them I did engage with and ask them to send in some questions. TH, I did live on the West Coast for the majority of my life. I'd say 33 years or so. Was raised there till I was about 17, 18, 19. Moved to Las Vegas, which is pretty much on the West Coast as well. You know, basically speaking. I've lived in Israel and I've lived in Italy and New York briefly, and now I live in the land of opportunity known as Arkansas. And I moved here for a variety of reasons to save a lot of money, first of all, and also have a friend had a very serious accident and can't take care of his children properly. So no, Texas is near Arkansas. I've only been to Texas once, but no, I don't currently live there. I was considering living in Texas or Louisiana and one of these other states, but I figured since my friend really needed more help raising his children, and basically he can't move, so they like to play sports and they need people to take care of them and stuff like that. And he's got 6 of them, so it is a bit much, and he is the only parent. Is you know. So anyway, TH, thank you so much for joining us. Did you just watch? Um, did you just watch Jason Goes to Hell? Let me know yes or no out there in the chat. I have a lot of information I can share on that film, and I should have an update at some point from Adam Marcus regarding the progress on the documentary of that. Let me just go tend to something real quick. Be right back. All right. And I am back. So, and let's see who else is out there. Any other comments in the chat? Let me go to the all chat. Texas. Yeah, have you ever been to Texas? I haven't been there except once. And anyway, yeah, getting to some exciting subject matter. You asked me what my favorite film is. That is, I mean, it hasn't changed. It's the same one I've liked since I was 7. So it hasn't evolved. So it's still Married to the Mob, the Jonathan Demme movie. starring Michelle Pfeiffer. There are other ones I watch a lot more often, but I've seen that one as much. Oh, he just watched it. He just watched Jason Goes to Hell. Pretty interesting. Yeah, you don't see the real Jason a lot. See the kind of that the Beast and that black man. That's the coroner. God, he has the worst agent in the world. I can't even believe what I witnessed when I called his agent once. His agent was like, "Oh yeah, he's got a real small part in the Jason Goes to Hell." It's like, no, he doesn't. And she's also like, "Oh, he got a real small part in NYPD Blue. Why would you even want to interview him?" But when I interviewed him, he was like the nicest man in the world, and I didn't dare tell him what his agent said. When his agent said, "Oh, why would you want to talk to him?" Anyway, I thought that coroner did a very effective job, and whatever that heart was that he was eating, I do forget. He told me it was some kind of thing. It was actually, quite delicious. Uh, so he eating that heart out. Wow. If you think about it, what an opportunity for young Adam Marcus. I think he directs the film at age 13. Was it your first time viewing the movie? My first time was maybe just 2-3 years back. I had a really, I don't know, I don't want to say negative reaction, but like, let's just say not the most positive reaction to it the first time I saw it. And then the next time I couldn't take my eyes off it. Wow, you just basically, I don't agree with the premise. There was nothing else left to do with the series, though. Have you ever heard that? Where they're like, oh yeah, he'd already been on the cruise ship. He'd already been supposedly in New York. He's already been supposedly here. He's already been there. He's about to go to space in a couple movies. So why not we just, do something different? I don't agree with that being the justification for the movie, but the way that the movie comes off, I don't really have a problem with it. I wish there was maybe a couple other more Jason movies leading up to it. Like maybe there had been 12 or 13 Jason movies, and that Jason Goes to Hell was like the 13th of the series, something like that. Because it basically did kind of stop the progress of them making. I mean, they stopped making them after Jason Goes to Hell, or excuse me, after Jason Takes to Manhattan. They stopped making them every year. I mean, that was a very bad decision anyway. But then Jason Goes to Hell kind of put a little bit of a damper on it, obviously, until Jason X. So how you doing out there today, TH? Tell me a little bit more about Finland. I can't leave the live stream now that I'm here to get more people in here, so we'll just have a little conversation here. Where's their Book of the Dead? Let me get to your chat. Sorry. If I'm making mistakes on here, I'm sorry. I'm starting to learn this process. Was there a Book of the Dead from Evil Dead in the Voorhees house? I think I know what you're meaning. I have to re-watch it again, but I do believe that there is some book in like that coffee table in the main room in Jason Goes to Hell. I definitely like the set design. I definitely like that there's a couple different in jokes in there, and also, of course, the I don't know, was it a pancake or a burger that's shaped into hockey mask? Found that to be pretty cool. So some of the things I got planned for the live stream here today, or we can talk about Jason Goes to Hell a lot more. We can talk about some of the evolutions of the Friday the 13th series. We can talk about my friendship with Victor Miller, what I know about the making of the movies, what I know about with my acquaintanceship with Sean Cunningham, some of the things I'd like to plan for the Camp Crystal Lake Convention and Festival that I've already gotten permission to make. My friendship with Peter Brackey, who makes the Crystal Lake Memories DVD and book set. It looked like Necromonica. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. His English is not perfect. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, my Finnish is far less than I can't speak Finnish whatsoever, and you actually speak English quite good, quite well. I don't speak English the greatest. Have you seen Memoirs of an Invisible Man? Did we already talk about this in the chat? I'm trying to remember if we did or not. I will be. Yeah, I think if we were to look really closely at the set design of the Jason Goes to Hell, that house, and we'll probably in every scene. There's a lot of in jokes from the horror industry and things like that. In my brief conversations with Adam Marcus, he's told me what he's including in the documentary, and it's basically like a 4-hour documentary about the making of it. I'm sure it's going to get cut down for DVD release, but then eventually there'll be more, special features and things put online. So yeah, I had a wonderful day here. Still, it's still winter, but for whatever reason, it was like 70 or 80 degrees today, and my dog's never played basketball, as far as I know. So I kind of tied her up and then also ran around the basketball court with her. And she was barking and trying to get the ball, of course, that they like to do. And the ball kept going in the river. Like the little kids don't know how to play with the ball well enough not to make it go in the river. Now, when I was younger, kids would be adventuresome, right? Adventurous. They would the kids would be adventurous. They would, the ball went in the river, figure out ways to get it out. Not these kids. Mm-mm. These kids wait for the adult to go get it for them. Me being the adult, I don't really mind, so that way I don't get someone breaking their arm falling in the river. At the end of the day, it said something. It's that they're less inventive these days. I noticed that. So, TH, around how old are you? And have you been in Finland for a long time? And one more question: do you watch the Sausage Factory? Any of the other channels like the Orc or Jay the Stingray are on? A lot of questions, but just wondering. And then also you asked me about my favorite movie. Married to the Mob is pretty far away from being a horror movie. I find that I like the experience of watching a horror movie more than the experience of watching other films. Like, I mentioned this on Orcs chapter. Oh shoot, someone fell down or something. Sorry. Orcs. I mentioned this on Orcs discussion the other day. I really like Halloween, the 2000 whatever Rob Zombie movie, and I found the experience of seeing it to be like, oh my god, overwhelming. So I think a horror movie, probably the experience of watching a horror movie, I like more than my favorite movie. But my favorite movie, I guess, would be Married to the Mob, because I know it like the back of my hand, I guess. But not only that, but I just feel it's pretty inventive in almost every sequence. I was going to buy Memoirs of an Invisible Man last summer. For some reason, I didn't buy. I will buy it though if I see it again at a decent price. I'm 41, lived in. Oh shoot, yeah. I wrote to Rennie Harlan on Facebook once, and then we started talking more on Facebook. I wrote to him for some details about the making of Ford Fairlane. I wrote to him to discuss the Long Kiss Goodnight, or if I could interview him about it or do a commentary DVD with him. And I think I might start pursuing that angle a little bit more, because wouldn't you be interested in that? Of course, that being your country of heritage. You've lived in Finland your whole life. It'd be really cool to talk to Rennie Harlan. So I'll try to work on that for this channel to get Rennie Harlan on here. Because even though, some of his films didn't hit, a lot of them really did. A lot of them really did. Let's be honest. Die Hard 2, um, Adventures of Ford Fairlane, the Nightmare on Elm Street 4, probably my favorite of the series. So right there, that's a action comedy. What else did I just list? A horror movie and a straightaway action movie. And then you got cliffhanger, straightaway action movie. You got a spy thriller action, Long Kiss Goodnight. You got cliffhanger. You got a campy horror movie, Deep Blue Sea. The dude made some good movies. So I'm very proud that you're from Finland. And very proud of Rennie Harlan. Other Finns that I know of, Teemu Solani. Grew up being a real big Teemu Solani fan. More of his earlier career. His later career, I liked pretty much on the Ducks too. Um, but definitely Timu Sakukoivu from Finland, I believe. Um, so I could talk about hockey a little bit. I'm losing track of some of the players nowadays. But the names, they stick in my head. Let's just say that much. They're very interesting language. And to your knowledge, is Rennie Harlan, is that his real name? Because I've always wondered. Such a cool name, you know? Just wondered. Um, so if, this is a question for you. Have you seen all the Friday the 13th movies? Um, and if so, how would you rank them? He directed Elm Street 4. He did fine late, early. Now he's making Yari Curry, Oilers. There you go. He's making movies in China. Yes, definitely made one with Jackie Chan that I would love to see. Would love to see what he's doing just the last 2 or 3 ones. I remember going on Wikipedia a couple weeks ago, and they all sounded pretty interesting. Hariola, yeah. Laurie Markkinen. Laura. Now that I'm thinking about it, Laurie Markkinen, the oh gosh, I don't know what team he's on anymore, but he was from the University of Arizona, from Finland. Drafted by the Wolves, traded to the Bulls. Don't know where he's at now. Um, but yeah, that's kind of a Finnish basketball player. So we just played basketball. We're dribbling with our left hand, trying to teach these people how to dribble a little bit. And that was Memoirs of an Invisible Man. Yeah, if you do find it, see if you can get it. Have you seen? No. What's Born American? Oh shoot! As soon as I get a chance or another device, I'll just jump on and put in Born American. That's what I need for a live chat next time, is so I can look up stuff. Um, Born American. Well, that's not him. That's maybe Gina Davis. But anyway, that sounds like a tremendous movie. I didn't like, or I don't know, um, if I got through the whole thing of that Val Kilmer one that he made, Mindhunters. Found it to be just less good than Deep Blue Sea by a lot. So, oh, do you follow Rambo Raf, the movie channel out there? Um, oh, also, which copy of Jason Goes to Hell do you have? I know that they have one with a commentary track already on it. In fact, I have that one. I might watch that one again later today. I'll be right back here. Yeah, so I really like it here. It's a good area to make horror movies. Really good environment, cheap locations. They're giving me 20% back on every dollar I spend. So let's say I spend 80 grand. It's only going to be, 60 grand. Also, Nordic Heat. He's first. Yeah, I've seen parts of Prison, but I haven't seen the whole thing. I definitely want to see the whole thing. I've heard it's a tremendous movie, obviously, and that's how he got Friday the 13th, or excuse me, Nightmare 4. I think he would have been a really good choice had they not made Jason Goes to Hell for him to make what, like the Jason, what would that be? Jason ninth movie. Um, and just so I know, do you like Jason Takes Manhattan? Because I really do, and I find that it gets a really bad rap. Um, in fact, meeting and getting to know some of the people from the movie series, I find that they're like neglected. They don't get the same treatment. And Jensen Daggett, by her own choice, don't really want to do as many conventions and stuff. So as I'm starting to get more into the world of the conventions, I'm starting to know more of these people from the movies. And part 5 is really in fashion lately, which is great. Like, don't get me wrong, it's completely cool that it's in fashion. It's probably my favorite of the series. I don't even like to quantify what's my favorite a lot of the time, unless I want to break down like a real 4 hour debate, and I'm open to that. But like, yeah, Jason Goes or whatever, A New Beginning is awesome. It's totally awesome, and I've become good friends with the cast of that. But they're totally in fashion right now, and I think some of the people from Jason Takes Manhattan should be in fashion, such as the film school student. Now, Martin Cummings. Yeah, there we go. Martin Cummings. He's just totally cool to talk to, and some of the other cast members from Part Eight. Um, Obviously, everyone knows the boxing scene where I think VC Dupree gets his head boxed off. But some of the other kills are awesome in that movie, and it doesn't get any attention. I mean, the frightening, frightening opening scene when they're on the boat in the beginning. I mean, the blood curdling scream that woman has, and that woman lived near me. I lived in the valley for a while, and she lived not too far from me. I wanted to talk to her a little bit more, but she's of the life now where she don't even want to do an interview to bring attention to herself. That's kind of how the fan base is, I guess, is if you put too much attention on some of the people that really never really acted again, um, then she just wants to have her quiet life, and that's the bottom line. So I don't shit. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I can block people, I guess. I almost blocked. I don't have all the Friday movies nor seen them. Uh no. Sorry, I don't have all the Friday movies nor seen them. I have Takes Manhattan. I have Region 2. Release trailer is in 4 to 3 4. Okay. Cool. Cool. There's one by New Line of Jason Goes to Hell. And it has maybe a 30-minute documentary on the making of it. And it has a commentary, I believe, by Adam Marcus. Cool. Right on. Rambo Rap. That's good. Yeah, he's having to trudge through a Dolph Lundgren marathon, which I'm a huge Dolph Lundgren fan. In fact, I watched I Come in Peace 3 times in a row yesterday. I was watching the Oscars and I wanted to have something else on the other TV just so I could, and I just kept watching I Come in Peace. So obviously, I've not seen every Dolph Lundgren movie. I can't believe that chap has. He's gotten through a lot of movies. I mean, I've seen Masters of the Universe, seen Red Scorpion or whatever you call it. I've seen a couple other ones that he's in. Obviously seen Aquaman. Obviously Showdown in Little Tokyo. He's in some classics, but just judging by the percentage of how many rants that Rambo Rap is leveraging up there, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna transition to the movie studio in just a couple minutes. Um, Appreciate all the questions coming in. And let's see if I missed anything here. All messages are visible. He knows Rambo Raff. Cool. Thank you so much for telling me about Nordic Heat. I mean, maybe we can continue developing our talking and friendship out here. I can send you some DVDs, or if you have some of those on DVD. The only thing is, I don't speak Finnish, so I don't know if it's going to be hard to find. Um, yeah, his movies and his early movies and oh, but you say it's in English. Okay, well that would be no problem then. Yeah, I would definitely want to see that. I want to find Nordic Heat online or try to find a DVD. I Come in Peace, Dark Angel. So when you lived in Finland, do you remember um, that movie being released in Finland as Dark Angel? I'm really curious about that. Like really, really curious because I followed the film industry very much. I was like 9 or 10 when it came out, and it clearly was called "I Come in Peace" in the United States. Like the ad campaign is so memorable. Born American. I think I've heard it under that title before than Nordic Heat. I like Nordic Heat so much more. Nordic Heat sounds like it's basically going to be a cool, almost like a primetime TV series type title. Like that's pretty cool title. So anyway, I'm really excited to watch that. I didn't really know it existed. I knew Prison existed, the movie Prison, obviously, but I didn't know about the other one that you just mentioned. Nordic Heat. Is there any other one? So does it go? It goes Born American, aka Nordic Heat, and then it goes Prison. It was banned here in Finland for a long time, said to be anti-Russian. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, because that's why I'm fascinated by your country. Is it's basically has so much carryover from Russia, as far as I know, and so much carryover from Europe and the Western world. I guess not that Russia's not, but like it's definitely got one foot in trying to make sure that there's the media not being critical of them. So it was banned for being anti-Russian. Definitely interested to see it. Is it an action comedy? Is it like it kind of sounds like an action comedy, or is it an action? Is it an action straight up action movie? And also in relation to that question, have you seen Amsterdam? Uh, Rambo Raff reviewed it a couple years back. I was gonna try to buy it for myself. Have you seen Amsterdam? And also the other movie that's filmed in an elevator that director made. Um, God, yeah, just let me know. Um, Also, what's the weather like there in Finland? So Finland, it's middle of February. I would imagine it's pretty cold. But that's just a guess. Never been there. Highest I've been up in Europe is, I guess, the northern part of Italy. So I've definitely been around the Mediterranean. Some American tourists goes over the border and causes some havoc. Nordic Heat. Nordic Heat, aka Born American. These different titles fascinate me. Like what's your opinion between I Come in Peace and Dark Angel? What do you like better? I Come in Peace, Dark Angel. Dark Angel, I guess, makes a little bit more sense as a title. I Come in Peace is a cooler title, but it doesn't really apply to the movie except that the villain guy says that. Uh, I like I Come in Peace as a title because of the ad campaign. It's getting warmer there. Awesome. Definitely warmed up here. We got just a day of snow. So, I mean, it's going to snow maybe this weekend, but we got a day of snow the entire winter. So, like I say, man, I've always been around tropical or, warmer weather. This is the coldest weather I've been in, and it's no colder than like 20 at any given time. I don't think it even gets below 15 or 20. So, you, my friend, have made it through the winter, and it must feel good knowing that you from February to what, like mid October, you're going to be pretty set. You're not going to be in any bad weather too much. That's good. I'm curious. Oh yeah, yeah. Dark Angel sounds generic. Makes sense because they sometimes called heroin the Dark Angel, and obviously this alien is a drug dealer of some kind. But yeah, I don't like that title. It doesn't resonate with me. When I bought I Come in Peace, it was called Dark Angel. It was so disjointing to me because I'm 9 and 10 years old. I remember reading about I Come in Peace in this pamphlet talk about all the movies coming out. I'm like, whoa, I can't wait to watch that movie. Then when I see them in trailers, it's like I come in peace, and then you'll go in pieces. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful ad campaign. I mean, well, I'll remember it till you know, I'll remember it forever. Let's just leave it at that. So anyway, what's your favorite? Okay, so let's discuss Children of the Corn 2. You saw it, and you say it's underrated as well. Cool, man. I'm really happy that you saw it. Let me know what you think about it. I'll listen for your response a bit because I'm a supporter of Jason Goes to Hell. I'll never say it's the best of the series, like Rambo Raff. I'm definitely a supporter of it. But that's why I like to talk about these movies. Is that I mean, don't you find that I mean, I don't know, you liked it quite a lot. Yeah. When people talk about these movies, they have these like catch-all things to say, like Children of the Corn 1 was great, but all the rest of them weren't. Like, what are they talking about? Like, were they watching the same movie as us? Children of the Corn 2 is like fascinating to me. I don't know. Better, yeah, way better. Like better than the first. I don't know if I can say way better, but better than the first. Doesn't take a while to get going. The first one, I swear to God, they're dancing around their bedroom. They're not even a Gatling until like 35 minutes into it. It's quite a snooze fest. And I like how Children of the Corn 2, I think I said this on a live stream the other day, Children of the Corn 2 picks up. Oh yeah, first is quite dull. The first is quite dull. Children of the Corn 2 picks up right after the events of part 1. So that makes it more of, I don't know, it makes it more of a, it's on the tip of your tongue type movie that you're watching, where oh yeah, oh yeah, Isaac is definitely cool, and I think he returns in 6. I don't want to, I don't know how much of the series you've seen. Sometimes they have connective tissue, sometimes they don't. But truly, I like the power struggle among the Cornites. Let's just call them the Cornites, the people that are the children, the teens, I guess, teens of the corn. It would be a more apt description at times. You've seen 1 and 2. God, you're going to be on such a cool journey, man, because they're not like, I mean, clearly these movies aren't the accredited series that Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, or even Texas. They're not like on that pedestal, but they have some great scenes and some great content in them. Could tell you like what to look forward to them, but I think I might as well just let you enjoy them. 3 goes off on an interesting tangent that would be a trend in horror movies going forward. Yeah, we'll go further into it, but let's talk about 2 more, man. I thought that the teen boy did great, and clearly, oh my god, what a beautiful, beautiful teen actress. I believe her name's Candy Clark. I tried to get in touch with her. I'd like to interview her for this whole project. The other cast members did really good. Beautiful, beautiful innkeeper. God, what a cool role that was. And Terrence Knox as the father. He's actually a pretty good actor, and to see him in this kind of role, I remember seeing him in old World War II shows and things like that. So we're gonna get into the main room here. Hold on one second. Um, um, oh, what are your thoughts on Gerard Depardieu? Have you seen some of his movies? I mean, being in Europe for most of your life, like Supernatural. Oh, I love those supernatural elements. Okay, some of the parts I love in part 2 so much are when, obviously they mark that woman's house with that weird like stuff, and then he's got to go research and do investigatory stuff with that Native American guy and get into the supernatural elements. It's pretty fascinating. The He Who Walks Behind the Corn, they developed like the supernatural subtext to it. I'm gonna watch that movie again tonight almost. I mean, my live stream of it cut off the other night. I just got to figure out why that was, but it just started not. It's the alert came up, and I was doing a live stream commentary. Um, oh, and also, do you know how to join these live chats? Because there's a way that I think I could invite you, I could share the link with you, and then your face, we could talk on here. But I don't know how that works exactly. So let me see. I know Amsterdam, but not have seen it yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either. I might buy that DVD. Oh, someone else is on. Well, welcome. Please identify yourself in the chat. I'm trying to learn how to send links to people here. So just give me a second. We're going to go into the other main room. Just give me a second here. All right. Hello, Meme. How are you? Nice to talk to you, Meme. And nice to have everyone here. Now going into the main room, I created a little bit of a studio for us here. Let's have a movie discussion. Got some posters for some movies. Haven't seen Hellfest, but I got the poster there. And Bad Times at El Royale and Fallout. So how's everyone doing today? Was the old lady and her sister the same actress in Children of the Corn 2? I couldn't tell you. That old lady does a really effective job in part 2. Um, really good job. Oh, I'm doing great. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for you. Thank you for asking too, man, Matt. I was just saying. I'm doing really well. Went and played basketball and have a dog. So she went and played. She was had to tie her up by the court. So she's barking and trying to get to the ball. So that's kind of exciting. And I look after a couple of children of my friend. He's in, basically can't move around in a wheelchair too much. So I was trying to get them to play the basketball, try to dribble a little because the ball kept going in the river. So I got quite a lot of exercise. I find that children these days, they're not as inventive, try to get the ball in the river. They rely on the adult. But I guess, it is what it is. Got to help these kids out, and hopefully they uh, learn how to get the ball out of the river one day. I don't know. But I didn't mind too much. So, Mehmet, where do you live? We got our friend here, TH. He's in Finland. And we are discussing how underrated that we both think Children of the Corn Part 2 is. And I'll just say for the entire people out there, I mean, TH hasn't seen but 1 and 2. I think Children of the Corn is quietly one of my favorite horror series. I mean, I like how each movie kind of reboots itself and it doesn't even give a fuck. You actually live in Morocco. That's so cool. I've been to Egypt before. I wanted to go to Morocco, but then once I'm actually there, I realized exactly how far and just how it would have been a little bit more of a deal to go to Morocco. Yeah, I was in Alexandria and I was in Cairo. I really enjoyed it. Went to soccer. Well, I mean, it was safe, but I mean, in stadiums there, they're crazy. And so I hope you're having a good time there in Morocco. Um, Marian Shamak, football player, soccer player, football. One of my favorite players. I haven't kept up with it as much, but he played a lot in like 2011, 2012, 2013, 14. He may not even be around as much anymore, but he was quite a good Moroccan player, I think. Cool. You're gonna go visit some other places. Well, yeah, you got a lot of time, I'm sure. I visited, I've lived all over the world and lived in Italy a little bit and some other places, and lived, of course, in the United States. Yes, and to answer TH here, TH asked if this is a Lakers shirt. Yeah, this is a Lakers shirt for Wilt Chamberlain, the great Wilt Chamberlain. He was a fantastic basketball player, very tall man. I hope to get a visit. Well, what other places you mainly want to visit if you had to say? Like, what would you be your number one destination? So yeah, this is my posters I set up. I have an actual bumblebee head there. What do you guys think of that? I didn't really. I mean, I guess I can review the movie. I didn't understand what the fuck I was going on. I mean, I'm not. I was into the Transformers when I was a kid, but I don't know any of this stuff. It didn't really stick with me. I liked the girl in the movie. I liked the movie basically, but about an hour and 10 minutes into Transformers, I just felt like I didn't care anymore. Like the movie had satisfied me enough that I didn't need to watch it anymore. And I thought that Bumblebee as himself as his own character, I'd like to just watch, but it wasn't really enough Bumblebee for me, and it was a lot of loud chasing down of Bumblebee and kind of ET style stuff. So I just kind of shined it on and left the theater. But I do that quite often when I don't like or I'm getting bored in a movie. I'll just leave. I feel that they're not that much money, so you just leave. Oh yeah, Kareem was into movies. I believe Wilt Chamberlain was into movies, and that's why I kind of paused when I said it. I just couldn't think of them. But yeah, Kareem was in Game of Death. He was in Airplane. I can't think offhand what Wilt Chamberlain was in, but I think he was in a couple. I mean, who wouldn't be if you're famous enough to be in movies just for your basketball skills? I think it's kind of ridiculous that some of them aren't. It's like, why not? What are you gonna, just Kobe Bryant didn't he just became his own movie, I guess. Um, okay, well, TH, thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate it. Really glad to have shared Children of the Corn with you in part two. We can talk more about that in the future. I know it's quite late for you out there. You have a great day. Probably do a live stream. If not tomorrow, then maybe later in the week, maybe Friday or so. Um, or any day I'll pop on, and feel free to follow me on here, and then you can add me on Twitter. I'll try to update when I be posting more of my interviews from various movies and people like that. Thank you so much for joining me today, TH. So TH off the air now, and all right, May. Have you seen any of these movies behind me? Mission Impossible Fallout. That was part six, and then I have Transformers here, and then this one called Bad Times at the El Royale. I haven't seen that one. Um, I figured I'd put some posters up. Got a stack of DVDs here. Figure I might as well go over them. Have you seen this movie, Meme? It's called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Have you seen this movie? No. Um, cool. Well, this one's called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels here. I can tell you a little bit about this one. I highly recommend this. I don't know if you like comedies. Most of it was filmed in France, so on the other side of the Mediterranean there. And it's a very funny movie. I guess I'll read the description of it and stuff. You can let me know if you've seen it. Someone on the New York Times says it's a laugh out loud escapade, a joy to watch. Oh, cool. I'm glad you like comedy. Well, if you like comedy, this is the movie for you, my friend. I got it for only $1 at a record store, so that's great. One's got a sophisticated, suave, and debonair comedy act. That's Michael Caine, or con act. The other's got, well, an act. Together, Steve Martin and Michael Caine um, are dirty, rotten scoundrels, and they're absolutely ruining the Riviera in this hilarious battle of wits and double crosses. And that's a mouthful. Basically, my friend, in terms of this movie, it's just hilarious. It's about Steve Martin trying to, give these women a song and a dance to try to get money from them. Okay. And then you got Michael Caine. He's a very sophisticated guy, basically doing the same thing. But instead of giving these women these stories, he's basically saying he's a prince. And he's like, having the cops give evidence that he's a prince. So that's kind of a trip. So I highly recommend Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, one of the better movies of its kind. I very much enjoy that movie. What's your favorite comedy? What are some of your favorite comedy movies? I guess I should say. And is there a famous comedy actor or actress that you prefer to see their movies of? Um, Also, yeah, I'm sure you're having a nice day. I hope you're having a nice day out there. Uh, find Dirty Rotten Scoundrels to be a very beautiful movie. I'm sure you live in a very beautiful area there in Morocco. Um, a very scenically beautiful area there, and obviously in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Really impressive. Um, Great acting in it from all the people, all the various cast members. Ian McDiarmid, who I think goes on to play the Emperor in the Star Wars movies. He plays a very small character role before he's famous, and he does quite well. So I highly recommend that movie. So, what's some of your favorite comedy movies that you've seen out there? Let me know in the chat what your favorite comedy movies are. Movies of a particular comedy or genre, or the ones that just the people that are in them. You have a favorite comedy filmmaker. Um, Yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about this movie. The guy that played Yoda, the little green guy in Star Wars, he actually directs this movie. So it has a lot of real good stuff going for it. The screenplay is pretty well done, and it's actually based on another movie or another concept before that. So that's pretty good. Um, and here's some more information on it. There's some photos from the movie. So that was good. So I hope if you see that movie, I hope you enjoy it. Um, and what else you got going on out there? What do you get to go to the movies pretty often? And what kind of movie? What do the movie theaters look like out there? Are they uh, Jim Carrey and his wife? Oh, like Bruce Almighty. That's a good one. I think Jim Carrey has a wife in that one. Oh, where they become thieves. That's Fun with Dick and Jane. Oh my God, I have a story about that one. I was gonna uh, see that one on a test screening, but then yeah. So that's a real funny movie. Yeah, when they're trying to rob the bank and everything. That's a good one. Um, that's a good one. I like Ace Ventura by Jim Carrey. I don't watch it that often, but that's a real good one too. What is another Jim Carrey comedy that you're real partial to? I have the Ace Ventura DVD. Let me go grab that real quick. Have you seen this one? It's a pretty funny movie um, with Jim Carrey. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. This was a movie he made, I believe, in 1993. So it's a definitely an older movie with Jim Carrey. I'll read the description of this one because this actually has some good commentary and features on it. You know what I like on a DVD sometimes is when it shows you, how they made the movie and stuff, and they did a good job on this. So let me tell you about the movie a little bit. Have you seen this movie, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? Oh, okay, yeah, you've seen this one. Yeah, this one's funny too. I don't have what was I gonna say? I don't have the commentary for or I don't have the other Jim Carrey movies, is what I was gonna say. I don't think I own Liar Liar. Now, Liar Liar is an interesting one because he has to tell the truth in every situation in that movie, which is a comedic premise. And then he's in The Cable Guy. I don't have that one. I don't own Dumb and Dumber. I've been considering buying it. I had the video of Dumb and Dumber VHS years ago, and that's a funny one as well. Um, how old are you? And what? So you would say probably Jim Carrey is your favorite comedian actor? Well, we can get back to that. A random collection of DVDs I have here, but this one here is called Boiling Point with Wesley Snipes and Dennis Hopper. And I highly recommend this movie. More for the mood and ambiance of the movie than anything. Wow. That's so interesting. You've never been to a movie theater before, just watched them on the tape or on whatever. That's amazing. Well, it'll be quite a cool experience when you go to the movie theater. But you've seen a movie theater in a movie. I'm sure you've watched a movie where they show a movie theater, so it won't be like never having seen one. But still, you've never been there yourself. Well, that's fascinating. That's really interesting. How far away is the nearest movie theater to you? about how far away is the nearest movie theater to you. This one's a really, really good movie. Boiling Point. Not a comedy in any way. I just got a random assortment here. Recommend it. It's Wesley Snipes is a cop. You know, he played a cop quite a lot. I find it to be kind of good. Oh, cool. Well, he's never been to a theater. He hopes to experience it one day. What part of Morocco are you in? What part of Morocco are you in? I don't know all the different places there, but I know Casablanca is a city. You're in Agadir. Oh, wow. That's amazing. I would love to look that up. Yeah, I'd like to go to Morocco. It sounds awesome. Some movies that I've seen that use Morocco as a location. Gosh, I think as The Mummy. The Mummy with Brandon Fraser. I think they may have filmed there. And offhand, I don't think of any too much else. Wow, that's amazing. I would really like to go to Morocco. I think the Black Stallion one where the horse is running through North Africa, that clearly has some parts in Morocco, I think. But yeah, I'm really excited. Of all these movies I have behind me, I highly recommend Mission Impossible Fallout. In fact, I would have the Blu-ray or DVD for it, if only it had better special features and stuff like that. Because I usually try not to buy a DVD unless it has special features, unless it's something I really wanted to just get, really to just own. Um, have you seen the Super Mario Brothers movie? Back for, 1993, they made a Super Mario Brothers movie. So it'd be really interesting to see if you could find that online, or if you get the DVD or Blu-ray for it or whatever, and let me know what you think. I mean, as a movie, I think it kind of works, but as a video game adaptation, it doesn't work as well, but it still works because the elements are still there, but they're just kind of transposed in a different way. So I found that whole experience to be quite interesting. Might I can make a sandwich. Might have a sandwich as I eat here, as I sit here. What else is going on out there? Morocco. Morocco, it must be 10 o'clock at night, I'm guessing. We had our other friend joining us. He's from, where's he from? Finland? That chap is from Finland. We got all sorts of chaps joining us here. Oh, it's 11 p.m. All right. Well, I'm just grabbing a sandwich real quick. You like comedy? Let's talk comedy then. I'll tell you a comedy. You let me know if you've seen it, and we could say, I'll name 3 comedies. I'll name 3 comedies, and then basically we'll decide which of them we like best. Sounds kind of like a fun game. So that way we can. It'll have to be 3 comedies that we've seen, clearly. So, Fun with Dick and Jane. I'd like to know a lot more on the making of that movie, because I know originally it was supposed to be Cameron Diaz and Jim Carrey. Now, Cameron Diaz, she was in The Mask with Jim Carrey, which was a movie, of course, that got them kind of famous. So I might show you something real quick here. It's a big animal. I own a big animal. I don't know how many animals you got out there, but hey, take a look at her. A big old animal. Big old animal. The big piece of popcorn right here. And then over there, I got some DVDs. So, see that? I got some DVDs. Oh yeah, she's a beautiful, beautiful dog. I just such a treasure to know her. I just I don't know how I ever met her. She's so special. In fact, I'm gonna give her a little tuna in her bowl. She likes to eat tuna fish, of course, like any good dog. And yeah, I've even thought about putting her in movies and stuff, but I figure I don't really want to go through all that training with her because, why? She's my pet. She's my, she may as well be training me. She's pretty much smarter than me. So she does some smart stuff, man, that kind of trips me out. Like if I get lost somewhere, she knows how to get back. So she's clearly pretty smart. So we let her do her own thing pretty much. So with Fun with Dick and Jane, why don't we see more Jim Carrey movies now, Why can't we just get more Jim Carrey movies where he do his, I guess he's tired of being a silly comedian type guy, or that's how he thinks of himself as. I don't think he's a silly comedian guy. I don't think any of these movies are that silly when you're really watching them. I find that they hold up really well. In fact, even Ace Ventura, I found to hold up pretty well. So that's what I'm not understanding. And not only hold up pretty well, take on kind of like a different element to it as I get older, where it's like you could see why that character is acting like that, as stupid as he's acting, because everyone around him is kind of always underestimating him. So I don't know. So Fun with Dick and Jane. Do you like that actress in it? Have you seen her in anything else? I find her to be a really interesting actress. Another comedy I would think you might like has the woman from Knocked Up in it. This man named Gerard Depardieu, who's a Frenchman. Really funny comedy called My Father the Hero. Oh, cool. Yeah, she's a good actress. She's in one, if you like her, I think you'd really like the comedy I'm going to tell you about called Flirting with Disaster. Flirting with Disaster actually stars Ben Stiller and that woman, Taya Leone, and Patricia Arquette. She won an Oscar a couple years back. And all sorts of comedians, all sorts of real funny people. Mary Tyler Moore. Just all the cast is just the best. In fact, if I put the movie on right now, I'd enjoy it. It's just the performances in it are just so good for across the board. There's this guy that plays the older man in it, George Segal. It's basically like one of my favorite actors. Gotta see Flirting with Disaster one day if you get a chance. You can maybe find it online. And if we get to talking more on here, you may have some DVDs or different movies that you want to tell me about. Let me know. And then maybe one day I could send you some of the DVDs I have because, if I could find extra copies of them, it's probably easier for me to find some of the movies here because it's a funny movie. It's basically about a guy who's adopted. He's trying to find his birth parents, and that's where the story goes from there. So, about Agadir is not too big of a town, I would bet then. I'm in a real small town myself. The town next to me only has about 8,000 people. And the town, the whole area, have about 80,000.
Well, this is pretty fun. Really glad to have you and TH having joined me for this. And are there any particular actors that you would like to see do a comedy? When I think about it, I'd like to see. Um, oh, you saw a movie, you don't know the actors' names. Well, yeah, if you just tell me a couple things about the movie, I'll definitely be able to guess what the movie is. I'm really good at doing that. And I'll say I'd like to see Tom Cruise in more comedies, a lot more comedies. You know, he was in one called Night and Day, kind of a spy comedy that I didn't think was very good. But when he was in Tropic Thunder, of course, that was hilarious. And when he's been in various other movies, I'd really like to see Tom Cruise do a lot more comedies. The guy goes into the future to find everyone. Idiocracy? Was it called Idiocracy? Because if that's the one, I think it's a movie it's dumb, but it's intentionally dumb. Oh yes, that's the one. Yeah. See, the interesting part about that movie, it's intentionally being. Oh, calm down, doggy. Calm down, doggy. You'll have more in a minute. You'll have more. You can have the rest of this bowl. Here, hold on. Let me have. You'll have it after me. Back up. Oh, you can have it now. You're a good girl. Yeah, you enjoy. It's basically that movie is intentionally being really stupid. Uh, a lot of it goes too far, and yeah, I can see your point on it. But when you think about where we are in the world from when the movie was made to where it is now, is I don't know. It seemed pretty topical at the time. And one thing about that movie, I think if it had Jim Carrey or if it had some other kind of actor in it, it maybe be a bit feel a little more grounded, feel a little more where you don't just think it's a like a running gag. I guess I don't know. That's my take on it. Definitely an interesting deal. He's trying to find his way home, basically, and I had like a weird take, like kind of a Wizard of Oz type feel to it, even. Yeah, Idiocracy. There you go. The studio, the company that made it, they didn't like how it was turning out, and they didn't like how the movie was, making fun of all these companies and making fun of this and that and the government. So they stopped supporting the movie, and I remember it only came out in 400 or 500 theaters, and people only have really ever seen it on DVD or at home because it didn't do well theatrically and didn't even get a chance to do well because mainly some of the jokes with Carl's Jr. and all that, which Carl's Jr. is a big fast food company here, and in the movie they say welcome to Carl's Jr. F you, and that Carl's Jr. is going to come take the people's children and stuff. So yeah, some of the jokes go pretty far. Hey, dog, go lay down. Go lay down. You're done with dinner. You're done with lunch. Go lay down. You're finished. You're going to have more soon. Yeah, I'm going to make some cheese in a minute. Yeah, go lay down. Go lay down. Make some cheesy rice. Go lay down. So try to keep it simple here. I like all sorts of comedy, from real simple ones like Look Who's Talking, where it's basically a baby just talking, to or the baby thinking, to sports comedy like White Men Can't Jump, to the silly comedy like Ace Ventura. Oh, San Andreas. Oh my gosh. Well, this is an interesting little story for you. I enjoyed that movie very much. Very much. I became pretty good friends with the lady, Carla Gugino, that was in it, I believe. And I find that's a really good movie. Really a good story. So I'm glad you enjoyed that one. Hi, who else is joining us out there? Please identify yourself out there in the chat. And we're having a nice discussion here. We have Meme out there in the chat, and he's from Agadir. Oh, hey, Donald Trump. He's from Agadir, Morocco. Same. I watched it together with my family. We enjoyed it so much. Yeah, I mean, for what it was, just one of best disaster movies, San Andreas. Donald Trump, how's everything going out there? What's some of your favorite movies? And thanks for watching, buddy. Oh, Meme. I'd like to see what you think of The Towering Inferno. The Towering Inferno. Hopefully you can find that online. That is an older movie, but a classic. A real classic. It stars the great actor Steve McQueen and Paul Newman. So that's a really, really good movie. It's where the San Andreas kind of got the idea for it. So that's a real good movie. So, yeah, I like San Andreas a lot. Have you heard about The Rock? He's got a new movie out, and it's called Fighting with Family. Fighting with Family is about wrestling, and The Rock kind of, I think, is playing himself in it. You interested in seeing that movie at all? Seems like maybe an interesting idea. I can go watch that one, but I haven't seen it yet. Definitely haven't seen that one yet. Seems like an interesting idea, though, because here he is. He's played in all these movies. He's obviously got such great chemistry on camera. And now he's going to play himself in a movie in the middle of his career. Never really heard anything like it. No one else has ever really done anything like this. So far, the movie's not doing all that well. So we'll have to see how that thing go from there. So, let's talk about Face Off. Face Off is truly one of my favorite movies. I have a really, really, really good Blu-ray of it. I don't know if you guys got, or what you own as far as Blu-rays or DVDs out there. But I gotta tell you, I really, really like Face Off. It's got some really good commentary tracks on it, where the people talk about how the movie was made. Here's an interesting fact that I think that there's a guy that does some videos online called Rambo Raff. Yeah. Rambo Raff has said that was supposed to be the Arnold and Sylvester Stallone movie. Well, Arnold would be the killer, and that Stallone would take his face off, to go chase him down. So I find that to be fascinating. I like it great as it turned out with Nicolas Cage and God, what am I thinking of? John Travolta. Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Oh my gosh. What an amazing movie that is. Like, truly, when you watch it, it's almost a visceral experience. When you watch it again, let me know what you think of it again. I think I'm really impressed with it. It's really held up quite well. So, definitely, I watched it a week ago. I just watched it a week ago, and it was great. So we just had someone come into our chat and then leave. So maybe they'll come back. I'm not sure. But they was named Donald Trump. That was legitimately the name. Now, whether or not that's their real name or not, it's
something that you and I don't know. But check this out, man. Look at this. Bunch of clowns everywhere. Look. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. I inherited them, so I kept them. Oh. What's up, man? How are you doing out there? Hope you're having a good day. And yeah, bunch of clowns. So here's my dog again. And now I'm warming up a little bit more of a snack. Oh, gosh. Because I did some physical activity today, and now I'm very sore. So look at her. She's just so sweet. I was thinking more about animals and humans. It's like we have a spirit within us, but without the spirit, we're just bodies. So that if she didn't have a spirit, she'd be just a body. So she clearly has a spirit. It's kind of interesting because she's animated. Like there's something, I hate to say that she's like possessed, but obviously every animal or everything is possessed by some kind of spirit. So I was thinking more about like in terms of what possession is, and there's positive possession basically, that we're all possessed by something, and it's just a matter of if they can be used to our positive gain, because a dog clearly knows how to use its positive or its spirit for unbelievably positive reasons. And that's kind of like when you see a dog or an animal in movies, that's usually the thing that the lesson is they're trying to always say is that these animals got amazing spirit. So I don't know. I was really thinking about it the other day because she's just every day is ready to have a good day. Every day, just excited and just like it should be. So I like when there's a dog in a movie that does good. This dog is just crazy right now. Sometimes she just wants to be she's jumping on my leg, so I gotta move around so she won't jump on my leg for a second. And she'll forget about jumping on my leg. I think it's about how they're raised. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it definitely is how they're raised. Some are raised with where they have an instinct to them, and then that spirit is kind of like, I don't know, what do you call it? Twisted up. They get what do you call it? There's something to them where they get too much fear, and then they feed off of fear. I came in here to feed her. Yeah, she needs food. So when they have fear, they create fear, and then people are going to get fearful of them. So that's interesting. There's a lot of dogs in Europe and Africa. I want to learn more about some of the European and Turkish and various dog breeds over in that part of the world. They are beautiful. So yeah, I think they're nothing to be scared of. I mean, depends on the ones. I mean, sure, some of them are scary and all that. And even she scares me sometimes. She's so big. I mean, I am actually scared of her. I gotta tell her to get out of my way sometimes because she's a bull. She's literally the size of a small little cow or a goat, and you gotta move her. So, this is a great one here. I don't know if you like dramas as much. August Osage County. That one's stars Julia Roberts. She was in Pretty Woman and some other films. Definitely interested to see what you think of that one. Oh, you have? Cool. That is great. Yeah, this DVD's got some great features on it. The making of August Osage County. Talking about the writing or about actually writing by the writer. Interviews. And I don't believe there's a commentary track, though. There may be. I don't know. So that's good. Now this one here, Let's talk comedy. Have you seen this one? This one. Right here. Have you seen this comedy? It's called City Slickers. Now, I have the collector's. Okay, now this one, I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's a good one. And I think they'll probably remake it in the next couple years because that's what they do. But this was a very big hit in the year 1991. You know, people go to the theaters a lot. So basically, back in the day, they went even more. And this was a big hit. People paid a lot of money to go see this movie and would see it a lot. And the actor, this old man right there, back up, dog. Let me point him out to you here. That actor right there, the old man Jack Palance. He won an Oscar. You know, the highest honor you can get. He won an Oscar for his role in that. He plays a man that's like an old seasoned cowboy, takes these people under his wing because they are they're basically needing to I don't know, it's a long story, but you know, Daniel Stern is yeah, it is pretty amazing. It's a great movie. I'll just get more succinct about what it's about. Basically, there's three friends, and they want to go have an adventure together because one of them realized his wife having an affair, and then one of them kind of just a regular guy, and one of them's married and is wondering, you know, how he can go have some fun with his friends and help out his other friend because his friend's in a crisis. So what they do is they book this thing where you can go to a ranch, like a Western ranch, cow ranch, farm, whatever, in Texas or wherever, I guess Arizona, wherever, and they will help you learn how to control cows, how to control horses, how to control all this stuff. So that's where the title calls. It's City Slickers. This farm is set up for you to learn how to be a part of the farming cattle business. Cowboy. How to be a cowboy. All right? That's what the title could be called. How to be a cowboy. Maybe that's even the foreign title. I don't know. More hilarious than ever. This movie that's telling you about the behind the scenes features and all that. I might look into the features a little bit more. So basically it says, New Yorker Mitch Robbins is tired of his job and bored of his life. So he and his two best friends trade their briefcases for saddlebags and set out to freedom and adventure in New Mexico. Freedom and adventure, herding cattle under the New Mexico sky. But what they discover instead is scorching sun, sore backsides, and more about themselves than they ever thought possible. I met the director and was going to be in a movie, but then they cast someone else instead. They didn't like my interpretation of the character, I guess. But it wasn't, the director wanted to cast me. Ron Underwood did want to cast me, but the woman who was not even the producer, she was just involved in the making of the movie, didn't want to cast me. So I did very much enjoy meeting the director, though, and become friendly with him as well. His name is Ron Underwood. And in addition to making City Slickers, he made a film called Heart and Souls with Robert Downey Jr., who plays Iron Man. And then he also made another one with Kevin Bacon called Tremors, which is a pretty famous horror movie, sci-fi. So a little interesting thing about that. I didn't realize that I'd forgotten that Ron Underwood directed it for a minute. So anyway, that is a really funny movie with Billy Crystal. I think you'd like it. Don't know for sure, though. I find that Billy Crystal's humor is a little odd at times, especially in retrospect, but he definitely had something working for him. And Bruno Kirby, really, really underrated actor and performer. Yeah, in this time period. Really an underrated actor in time. He's passed away now. So I just made a little bit of some rice soup. I really liked the food when I was in Egypt quite a lot. The food kind of similar there. And you got some more like French type food too, because what I ate a lot there was shawarma and falafel, a lot of good stuff. And I like going to the different French restaurants that were in Cairo and Alexandria too. They were quite good. Good. So, is it hard to? What's it like out there? Is it maybe like it'd be cool to try to make a movie out there, like some kind of horror or comedy movie? Yeah, a horror or comedy movie seems like it would be cool to make in Morocco. Kind of see what things are like out there. But I don't know if the film industry is more restrictive there. The series. Which series was that? Oh, Game of Thrones. Yeah, I've seen basically the first season of it, I believe, but I haven't really seen beyond that. I didn't really like it. I mean, I respect that it's a good show, but I never really watched it beyond maybe the first couple, yeah, maybe the first 6 or 7 episodes of season one, and then I've never seen it again since, except just different parts. But oh my gosh, what a popular show! And oh my God, they filmed some of it in Morocco. Well, that's cool. Well, be cool to visit that. Wow. Do you know if the show's still going on or they stopped making it? I don't even know. I think it's still pretty popular, so I guess it's still going on. Um, I know the lady that's on it, Khaleesi or something. She was at the Oscars last night, so that's cool. Some of the people on it have gotten pretty famous. The little guy Peter Dinklage, this guy Richard Madden. Oh, you don't watch it either. Between you and me, I think we're better off probably not watching it because sure it's interesting and all that, but I think it's all just a big circle, I don't know. I think it's a good show, but I don't know. A beautiful scenery, I'm sure, because obviously Morocco. Another comedy, I say comedy in quotes, it's called Nurse Betty. I'm looking at the DVD, it's over there. I could show you it, but Nurse Betty, and it has a great cast. The woman that won Best Supporting Actress last year, Allison Janney, is in it in a small role but memorable. In addition to Renee Zellweger, Morgan Freeman, Greg Kinnear, Chris Rock, Crispin Glover from Back to the Future, many other actors. I highly recommend that one as well. Kind of an offbeat comedy with a lot more going on besides just the simple laughs. Also, the man who plays Harvey Two-Face in Dark Knight, he also appears in it as well. Have you ever seen the Collider movie news show? It's on in America. It's on a YouTube channel. Oh, cool. Yeah, Renee Zellweger. It's my favorite role probably with her because she's been in so many movies. In this one, she seems like yeah, probably it's my favorite role in Nurse Betty because it's so you lose any sense of her acting. You lose any sense that this is a character. You really think that this person is how she is in the movie.
The movie Chicago is awesome with her as well. I mean, Chicago and Nurse Betty are probably 1 and 2, if not, whatever one's number one. The Chicago, she's just so beautiful and does such a wonderful job. I'll always remember, seeing that movie. So yeah, Nurse Betty, I highly recommend. First time I saw it, I didn't really understand it, but now the more times I see it, it's really interesting, kind of comedy drama, I guess. So, do you like Steve Martin, the man? You like Steve Martin? Let me show you. Got kind of a funny face. This guy here. Do you like Steve Martin? Are you familiar with a lot of Steve Martin movies? Because I might do a Steve Martin discussion. Cool. Yeah, what I'm thinking about doing is hopefully getting some other people to participate too. Do an hour or two where I just talk about the movies of Steve Martin. Highly recommend a lot of his movies. Some of them I don't recommend, so it'd be cool to go through which ones are good and bad, etc. I find that his face is comical, not that he's unattractive or anything like that, but just he's always ready to put a funny face on, and that's something that not every actor will do. So I think it's pretty interesting. So let's set this up better. It keeps telling me to rotate my phone around, so it's not bad. Oh. Are there any movies you're looking forward to seeing this year in theater, or on video or anything? Looking for your chats here. Oh. Which movies are you looking forward to watching this year? I'm looking forward to seeing the Quentin Tarantino movie. Oh, you haven't watched one in a little while. That's fine. Well, there's a couple ones that look really good. There's one with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino coming soon, so that's always exciting. Oh yeah, so I'll tell you about some of the movies coming out this year. Well, we don't have any Jim Carrey comedies, sadly, and also no Steve Martin comedies. They seem to be more serious these days. But there's a movie called Captain Marvel coming in a couple weeks. There's also a live or a computer animated version of The Lion King and some other movies as well. Aladdin comes out in several weeks. One called The Irishman, like I say, with Al Pacino and those other gentlemen. And it looks quite interesting. And that's about it as far as I know. Oh. There's a remake of the Steve Martin movie, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. It's called The Hustle. That will come out in December. So if you see Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, then you can probably see The Hustle eventually, which is a female remake of it, where instead of the men being the con artists, this time it's the women being the con artists. So that will be pretty good. And I'll have to see how that all plays out, Yeah, I found it really interesting too. I know the screenwriter of the original one, and he's not happy with how I guess they made some changes to it or whatever, So we'll have to see how that pans out. I feel that, probably it will be pretty funny just based on the idea was funny to begin with. So we'll have to see. What do you think about some of these remakes? Did you ever see the original Overboard? And I was wondering if you'd seen the remake of Overboard. Overboard's kind of an interesting movie. It's about someone that takes someone that they find uh, and rescue them and makes them the parent of their children, like because they have amnesia. So kind of a dark idea, but to think that they've made 2 movies of it now, they'll probably make another one day. There sure have been a lot of remakes. I was wondering about how old are you, because some of these movies I seen when I'm a kid, they remake a lot. So I saw Overboard when I was 6. I'm 38. So then they remade it again a couple years ago. I guess it makes sense to remake it. Oh, okay, yeah. So you're 23. Um, did you see Liar Liar, the Jim Carrey movie? I think that was coming out right when you were, right around when you were born. That's my dog talking there. Always chatting it up. Yep, chatty chat. I like Liar Liar. Of all his movies, I think that one's one of my favorites. Not perfect, kind of a silly little gimmick, but I like the heart of the movie. I also like Big Daddy, the Adam Sandler movie. I'm a pretty big fan of that movie. I probably should own it, but I don't own it. Won't mind owning it. I was going to ask you, do you own DVDs and movies, or do you basically watch them online? I maybe send you some DVDs, That way you can have them on anytime you want to watch a movie. Also, yes, because I like to, when I go to work and stuff, I come home and I like to watch a movie. Yeah. Are there a lot of just online, and as a kid, I've watched them on TV. Okay, cool. Had to feed the dog. She's a good dog. I want to get some dessert today. I haven't gotten any. I like to go buy dessert and then bring it into my house to eat. One of the things I really like to do. So, what are some good things that people like to eat for dessert in Morocco? I found that in Italy, people eat that gelato quite a lot, which is basically a form of ice cream. And I really did enjoy my experience eating that. Trust me, that was a really delicious food to eat consistently. I would really enjoy bringing the gelato home or eating it. And that would make the exception of eating it, there, because it would melt. But most desserts I like to bring into my house and eat. I don't like to eat them out, because when I come home, I want to eat them at my house. So it's great to have the availability of some desserts that I really enjoy. I may have to actually go walk to the convenience store later tonight to pick up some dessert. I'm not joking. I really like dessert. It's come on really strong for me. Yeah, me too. I prefer eating at home too. Like, I will eat out. I kind of look forward to eating out when I do, but consistently I can eat at home and save a lot of money, and particularly eat dessert at home. I mean, I like to pig out, so I don't want to be eating too much dessert out at a restaurant and then having to go home and all that. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one behind me called Hellfest. I've heard it's really good from some of the people that do YouTube channels that I know. Good dog. All right. So I might give this movie another chance. This is a horror movie called The Dark Half. Came out when I was around 12 or 13. And I have the special edition DVD and all this information on the making of it. So I definitely want to check that one out again. Oh, that sounds so good. Yogurt, like how you just described, sounds so good, my friend. Woo! What a delicious treat that would be. Indeed, it would. Indeed. You happy? You have a good meal? Sorry, I thought I was putting it on her face, but I wasn't. Cool. Yeah, I love yogurt. I got to pick up some of that too. As you said it, I was like, oh, that's what I need. Yogurt. And then you cut it up and put fruit in it. That's delicious. The movie? What movie? Hey, get off my foot. Sometimes my dog just gets so close to me that she stands right on my foot and it hurts. Because she's a big dog. And it would stand on my foot. That kind of hurts. Anyway. The actor visits his wife's family. Oh, it's the best. Meet the Parents. That's a really funny movie. I went and saw that movie and I really enjoyed it. I like Meet the Parents and then its sequel. And I find the third one to be really funny. Maybe even the best of the series, Meet the Fockers. Really a funny movie. Because they got 2 sequels to it. Oh, I guess yeah, the direct sequel is Meet the Fockers. The third one's Little Fockers, my mistake. Yeah, Meet the Parents. So those are good movies. Oh, it was so funny. I might even rewatch that one again. I got some good information on that movie too. That's a good one. Really a good one. So, what time of day is the best time to do these live streams? Today or this time, or 'cause I might be setting another one up of these either tomorrow or on Friday, or Oh, cool! You've seen all the parts. I really like not Little Fockers. I really like Meet the Fockers. The second one, that one was really funny too. A bit earlier. Okay, so next time I have a day off, I'll probably start around 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Um, Central Standard, so that would be whatever time it is there. So that's what I'll try to do. I'll try to recommend some other movies, and then if there's like a comedy or a movie that you have or you want to watch, then we can do the commentary or just talk about it, some other ones as well. Because there's just so many darn good comedies out there. One other one I'll recommend called The Golden Child. That's a great one with Eddie Murphy. Real funny movie. But yeah, I think I got shut down, lie down a little bit out of here. Got a little tired and gotta get ready for work tomorrow. So what else we got going on? Oh, I could tell you about a television show. Maybe you can find some of it online. I don't know if it's possible, but this is a show. It predates me. That's a pretty old show. And it's called Three's Company. This is a comedy. This is a very funny comedy show. It should be a movie. They should have already made it, but they didn't make the movie of it yet, clearly. But this is Three's Company, and I highly recommend this TV show. Just got so many funny parts on it and funny situations. Basically, it takes the whole situation comedy to another level. I very much recommend that movie or that TV show. Um, but yeah, Meet the Parents. Wasn't it funny seeing Robert De Niro? He's usually so serious in movies, and then playing that character. That was a really funny situation for sure. Um, but yeah, had a great time here today. Let's see. Yeah, probably a bit early is good for you. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because I think it's 8 hours ahead there in Morocco, something like that. 7 hours ahead. Yeah, yeah, he's a great actor. Great seeing him in that kind of role. I wouldn't mind seeing him in more comic roles, or any role. Some of these people don't like seeing De Niro and Al Pacino and all these people, make movies in their later days. They knock their movies. I think they make good movies. Yeah. Okay, back on my live stream here. Uh, which one are you a fan of? MIF? Uh, Mission Impossible Fallout. Oh gosh, what am I so slow for? Thank you so much. We have our other guy Mehmet in the chat. He hasn't seen it. He lives in Morocco. Where do you live? Thank you for joining us. I'm really glad that you're a fan of Mission Impossible Fallout as well. I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed the movie. I knew I was going to enjoy it. As I enjoyed part four, I didn't enjoy five as much, though it was quite entertaining. Don't get me wrong. And then obviously five led right into six, and six was amazing. Now you're from Australia. I'm a real big fan of Mission Impossible 2, which was filmed a lot in Australia, as far as I know. So, that's totally cool. And I'm also interested in knowing more about the theme parks down there because I know that Village Roadshow stakes or produces some of these movies through the years. A lot of Warner Brothers movies and various movies, hundreds of movies through the years. So me liking theme parks and roller coasters and being an enthusiast of it, I've always been interested in going to Gold Coast and Australia and all these regions to see their great roller coasters and things that they have in that part of the world. What I guess what part of Australia are you near Gold Coast? For whatever reason, being in Gold Coast has always fascinated me, and I'm looking forward to the day where I can visit Australia and be at peace. Oh yeah, I just put up some posters here. I got Hellfest. This one, Bad Time at the Royale. Appreciate that. I love Australia. Yeah, I really would. It's crazy. I've been over to some parts of the world in Italy and other places, but being there in Melbourne, geez, I've heard that's the best part. My uncle just loves Australia. I really was a huge fan of some of the Australian movies last 10, 15 years, even before that, obviously. Razorback, one called Animal Kingdom that they made an American TV show from. But that original movie had Ben Mendelsohn and Joel Edgerton in it, and a really good cast. That woman, Jackie Weaver, she's gone on to make some stuff in America, but that's definitely still waiting to see how she can be better utilized in American movies if she's going to be. Because I think that she should have possibly won for Animal Kingdom at the Oscars. It was a really good movie. So I think that was filmed in the Melbourne area. How do I say your name? Mupi? Um, Myup? Miep. Miep. Miep, Miep, did you watch the Oscars? Did you watch any of the Oscars? Oh, and is Meme still out there? Okay, so Meme, welcome. We have me up here with us now too. And me up lives in Australia, and we're discussing movies. Oh, me up, I was just going through different movies. Meme likes a lot of comedy, so I was recommending some comedies to him. Have you seen this comedy? This is a good comedy. It has Billy Crystal, the guy right here on the older guy in the photo. He won Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, so that's me up. Yeah, so we're talking, seeing what me up likes and stuff like that. Oh, gosh, I'm hitting the wrong button. You should check out Mad Max Fury. I did check it out. I saw it the opening night for Mad Max Fury Road, and I think I'm gonna look forward to watching it again at my home theater or home TV and giving it another chance because I felt maybe it's sitting too close to the screen, just kind of start getting disoriented in the movie. And so sometimes things happen to me where I don't want to be in the theater anymore. And so I just figured, yeah, I'll watch it when it gives on tape, and then I haven't watched it again since. It's looking forward to giving it more of a chance. I own Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Oh no, no problem. I understand. Sometimes if I have to jump off real quick, it's because of the same streaming issues or similar ones. I own Mad Max and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Me being a huge fan of Tina Turner and just that whole era in the mid '80s, just the way she kind of took over popular music for a little bit, and the song and the music, the ambiance of that movie, something I really fell in love with as a kid. And when I watch it now, I really want to watch it again. Basically watch all the Mad Max ones again. I really hope that they. I don't know. Do you have any opinions about Mel Gibson? Like, I think he should be back in movies, being able to do whatever he wants. Uh, be that Lethal Weapon, be that uh, another Mad Max movie. He's now directing movies again and stuff, but I don't have any resentment towards him, and I think people can judge for themselves whether or not they resent him and his comments and his behavior and all that. But I know for a fact that there's people out there uh, that have done worse and clearly done worse than Mel Gibson. So I'm getting a little frustrated with this stuff. So I think he should come back. And I think he should be back in the Mad Max. I mean, I don't even know if they're making Fury Road 2. Have they ever announced that? The movie was a huge hit with critics, but not necessarily didn't make as much money as I think they thought. So that's why I'm trying to always, track down these movie news stories, and I haven't heard that, and I've made phone calls to look into it. George Miller, almost, as old as he is, it seems like he's still interested in making either a Justice League movie or another Mad Max one or something. I haven't heard any progress on that end. So, Mia, you watch Rambo Raf or any of the channels out there, like the Sausage Factory or any of these horror or different YouTube channels out there? I used to be on one this guy named Cameron have. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I just moved to Arkansas. So, oh yeah, Meme. Meme says it's been nice talking to you. It's 12 a.m. Yeah, you have a great day and you have a wonderful time out there, Meme. And in the future, I could even send you some movies. Oh, thank you. Appreciate you to subscribe to me. I'm going to be posting a lot of interviews, a lot of commentaries, a lot more stuff. I'm just trying to think how to sync up the technology without bothering people, like without bothering my friends to tell me how to get the computers all set up. So literally, I'm trying to do it on my own. I mean, I have people that are a lot younger than me that can help me with this stuff, but I feel like I would owe them something for it. So I'm trying to figure out how to build my channel the best I can. I've interviewed quite a lot of celebrities, directors, producers, and stuff like that. But basically, they're for my own purposes. I hate to be kind of weird, but I'm going to put them up here. But like, I mean, I don't even know if people would be interested in the conversations that I end up having with them. They tend to be very, very long and um, just so many different things. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it, Mia. I have had millions of viewership in other walks of life. I have worked in the radio and TV business, like in quotes, I guess, since I was about 12 or 13. I basically started to fix and rig the outcomes for different TV shows, syndicated shows, news shows, variety talk shows, courtroom shows. I've created over 800
absolute episodes, and all sorts of story threads and fake news, basically. So the reason I left California is because I was getting inundated with people trying to make offers on my life story for being a movie. People trying to, make overtures saying, you may as well make a big deal of it now. It'll be easier to get your rights later when, posthumous rights and all that. So me being have already done quite a lot in my life, I figured why not just try to save money in a new region and just go, um, make a horror movie or two out here in Arkansas because it's cheaper, and figure out how to do my own story my own way rather than have these leeches try to tell me how I should tell my own story. Um, and not only try to tell me how I should tell my own story, but for pennies on the dollar. Like, I'm not going to piss on $25,000. But when you think about that, you've worked for something for over 25 years and you're only going to get 25,000 for it, and then they're going to end up keeping millions and millions of dollars. Nah, that's never going to happen. I'd rather just have no one know my story than that. Because the only reason I ever got into what I was doing was because I figured out a way over the producers. I figured out a way over the whole system. So why would I just be then part of the system to make my story about how I got around the system? It doesn't compute. So that's why I've done this thing. It's kind of like a mathematical problem. I've brought my solutions out to a new place. I've already found, production resources here and ways to go about it here. Whereas there, I basically they're trying to tell me to write four more screenplays. They'll give me an agent, and then they'll give me $25,000, and then they'll give me a producer credit on my story. And these are major, major, major Oscar-winning filmmakers, and I'm just disgusted by them because like if it came to it and the story ended up doing really well, they'd be the first to be like bending over backwards saying, "Oh, I'm just so happy to have gotten in touch with this great story and great material through meeting this unique individual." I don't like talking about myself too much, so I'm trying to say it in third person. Um, uh, but if you could really cut through all the noise, it's like, yeah, we're really happy to have bought the story rights for this person for X amount because we made 50X amount. Like that's whenever you hear, let me just tell you a little bit of the inside of the literary agent world and stuff like that. Whenever you hear these celebrities overly praising where they got the subject and the story from, what they mean is like, oh my God, how cool is it that we got such a great rip-off deal and we got this basically kick-ass story for free. I mean, once you're on the end of when they're actually trying to offer you rip-off deals and all that, some people could be like, wow, why don't you just take $55,000 or something like that? And like that was one of the offers. I declined that one for sure, because that one was that I basically am changing the essence of the story too far. So anyway, long story short, I love movies. All I do is just write and figure out how the best way to tell the story would be. Um, I have an interest to direct a film. Uh, you know, oh yeah, well I would appreciate it, man. I want to work with anyone. I mean, I'd go to Australia. I'd go anywhere to make this. I mean, I'm here in Arkansas right now, because it's like for every dollar I spend, I can get 20 cents back here for film production reasons and stuff like that. Um, I'm pretty good friends with the producer of all the Police Academy movies, so and he's an old man. He's like 84, 85 years old. Sometimes I call him and he doesn't even remember, what tomorrow is, but he's pretty sharp about what movie production is and how to get this stuff done on a budget. And I'm hoping to patch together some more resources from Los Angeles and Hollywood and all that, and see how this can work out. I'm in negotiations to go on and do an interview with the Jimmy Kimmel. He's a talk show host in the United States, to appear on his show in a couple weeks.
I'm just really not into the idea unless they pay me more than they're offering me right now. Um, so that's basically where I'm at on that. Um, I was talking to Mehmet from Morocco, of course, earlier, and just going over some of my different movies here. Um, have you seen To Live and Die in L.A.? It's a good movie, kind of about counterfeiting, and the best actor nominee, Willem Dafoe. It's probably his best performance in that film. Really good performance by him in that. Anyway, the man that wrote the book that To Live and Die in L.A. is based on also wrote the book that this movie is based on, and I think Boiling Point's a pretty underrated movie. I think Dennis Hopper actually in 1993, 94, 92 was doing some really good work in movies, be it True Romance, be it uh, the one I just grabbed, the Boiling Point, and then also, I mean, what people can think what they want about the Super Mario Brothers movies, but the movie, but he's clearly like acting pretty. I mean, I don't know. Dennis Hopper's performance in Super Mario Brothers, it's clearly something. I'm not even gonna like say what it is, but it's clear it's something. You can't take your eyes off of it. If you want to take your eyes off of Super Mario Brothers, Dennis Hopper's performance in it, then more power to you. But if you're actually invested in the movie and trying to give it a chance and stuff, it's like there's something he's into there. To be honest, for me to practically execute this dream, I'd be soon like dropping some short movie. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be dropping a trailer for this horror movie I'm making right now. It's called The Drive-Through Slasher, and then I got two other ones I'm working on right now. Real micro-budgeted horror movies. One called The Projectionist, and the other one called The Eating Room, which is about a dining room that actually consumes the people that are in it. Um, so yeah, we got that going on, and then we got actually my own story. I'm just writing it page for page over and over again until I'm like really confident that it's a screenplay that, you know, should I try to fund it with others, they're going to be like, no, you don't need to change a word. It's perfect. It's your own story. I'm really trying to make it so that they don't want to change it, so that they offer, um, settle for 130,000 and me getting some story rights and producer credit, settle for that. I definitely think it's worth more than that. So anyway, I've people always think I've got a lot more money and stuff than I do. I really don't. I did all this just for the passion of storytelling and to make movies. Like literally, like had they made the system where it's like easier to get a movie made, being uh whatever, then I would have probably never even gotten into the world of TV as far as I did. Because no one's ever done what I've done. They basically, um, the TV news and all that, they try to perpetuate that it's real, but I'm the only guy that's on the outside of the whole system that was actually getting paid. Um, I looked for the opportunity too. I looked for the opportunity to set up major, stories that I wrote and find a venue for them on TV and find a venue for them on the news and blend what reality and fiction is. Um, cool. You're gonna have a YouTube channel. Nice. I'm probably gonna start a different one in addition to this. I'm getting a call right now. I'm gonna decline it. Uh, I get a lot of calls from Los Angeles, obviously. So I just basically just ice them out. And you should be in that position too, where you just never. I'll tell you something from experience me up. Never let uh the people try to dictate tempo to you. Always dictate tempo to them. Never ever ever let them try to like tell you where you need to jump to or where what you need to be doing at any given time. Nothing like that. Never do that. Always do the best you can, because it's like basically they're always going to try to, like right now I just had to block 8 calls from, gosh, do you want to even know who it's from? It's not cool. It's from people who I don't want to make movies with. You know what I'm saying? So there's people out there that can help you.
there's people out there that want to make movies. Be really selective. Um, yeah. Actually, you know what's so funny, man? Mia, I just started doing this like 4 or 5 days ago. Building a little bit of a following. I hope to do more. You know, being in TV and radio and all that for years, I don't think people really match up that everything I was doing was, controlled by me exactly. So I'm trying to figure out ways to tell my story a little bit more on here and build up more of an audience on Instagram and YouTube and all this stuff. So yeah, I plan on live streaming as much as possible every day. I so regularly or every day. I'd say like 3 times a week. But I have been doing it every day lately. I do some other stuff during the days sometimes, so my schedule may be a little bit less available. But I just put up all these posters and stuff, and I'll center them a little bit more. But yeah, I plan on doing this regularly. What time of day is it out there? Out of curiosity. Um, Also, I'm really into surfing. So one of these days, I'm gonna figure out a way to get down to Australia. One of my favorite movies of all time is North Shore. It stars the guy that's in Razorback. Razorback's a really underrated Australian horror movie. Um, I think Russell Mulcahy made it. To be honest, more and more I see the stream, I feel you to be more. Oh, that's cool. I really appreciate it, man. I mean, most people have never really heard about what what I'm talking about or what I've done or what I've seen or what I've been a part of and all that. And I try to keep it real simple. It's just like, yo, from when I was 12 or 13, I saw the world a lot different. I started getting in trouble in school because I started to question authority so much. And then basically being in California, being an inventive person, I figured out ways how to sneak into all the studios. And then basically I was on the set of Friends and Seinfeld and all these major TV shows. It's 10:54 there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll shut down a little while from now, but I don't want to keep you up too long. But basically, yeah. Oh, 10:54 a.m. Oh, you're fine then. Yeah. So like, me at 14 and 15, I was just basically ditching school and trying to learn as much as I could about the movie industry and TV industry firsthand. And I basically took what I learned from visiting all those sets and like basically crashing the Oscars every year, to how to handle and create stories and um, how to perpetuate creations, how to perpetuate entertainment. And that's what I think is kind of lacking in Hollywood a lot of the time, a lot of in movies. I hope I can bring to the table is an authenticity. Everything I've done is basically because I felt it was right to do it. And a lot of these people, I think they're just making movies that, it's the public popular interest thing, and then the movie makes no money, and then they want to blame the people out there for not going to their movie, or really they're just trying to pander. So we all know what pandering is, and it's happening a little bit too much these days. I am an authentic person. I've never really thought too much about where my story is in context to other people, but I don't know anyone that's done what I've done. Like I don't know anyone else in the Western world. Um, so I hope that it will all work out. But even so, I can just make these live streams and talk a little bit more about this stuff. Hey, but it's cool, man. I understand things come up. You have a wonderful day out there, me up, and I'll definitely be posting. Follow me on Twitter, Barbecue Network. Um, and then hopefully you get these comments and stuff. I'll just probably tell them in the comments, when I'm coming back on here and stuff. So chill out and go walk my dog and stuff. So appreciate it. And you have a wonderful day. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'll stay on here a couple minutes, make sure everyone or there's not one else. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, man. And hopefully come check out Australia one day. Nice. What do you say, puppy? Having a good day? Yeah. All right, everybody. That was a very fun live stream. We got participants from Morocco. We got participants from Finland. And we got participants from Australia. I just absolutely can't believe it.
looking forward to doing this as much as possible. And much love to you guys all out there.